Hey everybody, Groudonsky here with our first ever Pokemon centric video on the channel.
And I thought it was a good and appropriate time to talk about the state of this hobby. I'll give a little background on my relationship with the hobby. I started collecting base set in 1999 when I was 6 years old. And then I got out of it right after some of the Team Rocket sets in the early 2000s. I grew on, my interest changed. Obviously, as you can tell, I've kind of circled back. But I remember a lot of the same feelings, same issues that exist with Pokemon today existed back before the turn of the century. The scarcity of finding packs, people hoarding packs, card shops, mainly back then because online retail was not nearly as prevalent, were upcharging, double MSRP on pack items. It was hard to source products, especially as a 6-year-old. Now, as someone well into their 30s who just got back into the hobby within the last year, honestly, because of the release of Pokemon 151 and then also playing TCG Pocket, kind of got me back into the hobby, learning a little bit more about it. And this is a scary fucking place, guys. The state of Pokemon right now is way worse than I remember as a kid. I think obviously with modern society, there's more access to ways to beat the system, to game the system. So we'll talk about a couple of the things that I think are identifiers of problems within the Pokemon hobby. But ultimately, and what I do in my day job is identify root causes of problems. And this all goes back to the Pokemon Company. So we'll talk about some of those symptoms and how we can potentially manage or mitigate those as we try to collect cards in this insane time for the hobby. And then we'll also talk about some things that Pokemon needs to be doing
And what Pokemon owes us as fans of the franchise to help make this a better experience and a more positive environment.
and maybe to make it a more enjoyable and easier experience for us as fans. So let's get into it a little bit. This is the first Groudonsky episode.
The biggest issue today is nobody can find fucking product anywhere. Unless, of course, you want to pay double MSRP online, which we'll get into later. Pokemon has always done this. This is not new for them. Now, when I got out of the hobby, especially pre-pandemic, the interest in the Pokemon TCG was much smaller, so I'm sure product was more readily available. Always set dependent, right? But again, with the first release in the United States, scarcity is something that the Pokemon Company craves. It's sort of the value proposition of their entire product line. Collecting in general is about scarcity. We want things that other folks don't have. That's sort of the whole point of collecting, and the Pokemon Company knows that. So I'm not going to give them any shit for that. That's sort of the baseline of collecting as a whole. But we need to talk about the Pokemon distribution strategy. And that's truly what the root cause of this problem is. And there's 4 to 5 things that we're seeing as symptoms of that root cause.
So we like to shit on scalpers, rip-in shippers, sealed product hoarders, etc.
Those are all pretty shitty things. And I'll talk a little bit more about each of those probably in future episodes. And some of you might do those things. Hey, I keep sealed, toys from the 90s that I've picked up or that I've had as a kid. So I'm cool with all of that. All of that in a vacuum or in small sample sizes is totally acceptable behavior. If you want to buy an ETB and keep it sealed, more power to you. That's great. If you are somehow getting lines to Pokemon distribution, you're then ordering 400 ETBs and then keeping them sealed in your fucking frat house that you work out of, that's shitty. If you do the same thing and acquire all those packs and then rip them all on whatnot, that's kind of fucking shitty. And that makes it more difficult for people like us to acquire product. And this is something, like the rip and ships and the online streams and that fucking toxic ass world, that did not exist, obviously, when Pokemon was created. And I don't think they have a strategy in place to mitigate the potential reputational damage that some of those bad actors can impact on a huge multinational billion-dollar corporation like Pokemon. What they see at the end of the day is their product's moving faster than ever. They're shipping more product faster than ever. There's more eyeballs on their product than ever before due to everyone staring at their phone, watching some slime ball rip packs and then reseal them. So Pokemon doesn't really give a shit. That's sort of the gist of all of this. Pokemon does not give a shit about us, the normal customer. The people that have been here since 1999 have come and gone as, products have changed and tastes have changed, have come back. Maybe have left forever. I promise you there are great longtime community Pokemon members that have been here for decades that are out, that are done with this shit, that don't want to sit on their phone and watch some fucking 19-year-old open packs and make mom jokes on fucking TikTok or whatnot. And then go through the packs in 2 seconds and then throw them in a sleeve and, hey, maybe you'll get them. Oh, by the way, you also paid double for that booster pack. We'll get into ripping ships later. I know I'm giving them a bad rap now. So no product. You can't find product anywhere. I'm going to try to open something in each video. I got a pack of Temporal Forces and a 2-pack blister with, I think, Paldea and Fates or Paldea Evolved at Target. I've hit one Target restock ever, and it was, again, a 2-set blister with Fusion Strikes and Chilling Reign. That's the only time I've ever got packs from that era, ever. I've never seen Prismatic Evolutions in the wild. And I live in a metropolitan area with millions of folks, tons of different big box stores, local card shops. I've never even seen Prismatic Evolutions at my local card shop that I go to. If I did, it would likely be doubled MSRP. We'll get into that in a different video. I kind of go in and I take what I get. I'm kind of a fan of the cards themselves. I like the act of opening. So I'm cool with taking chances on some of those less popular sets. But then you have no product anywhere. And then you go into a store and you have people, and I've seen this, I would never do this, but you have people that are lining up for shit like the night before just so they can buy Blooming Waters at GameStop or something and then sell it for double face value on Facebook Marketplace later that day. Scalpers have been here since the dawn of a marketplace. There's always been people that have been buying product and then selling it for more. That's sort of what capitalism, is. The issue is we're doing it in a fucking children's games hobby. Okay? Like, this is some seriously fucking unhinged behavior. Scalpers are shitty. They're a problem, but they're not the root cause. Even if we eliminated every quote-unquote scalper or flipper from the Pokemon hobby, there would be Pokemon fans that would be doing the same shit, but they would be somehow justifying it in their minds by keeping it sealed for 6 months. This brings me to the Pokebro crypto investor Chad group of Pokemon. So I've sort of, when I got back into the hobby, I've seen a lot of those videos before I've seen anything else. You see the stonks, you see how a card or a booster box or whatever it may be increases or decreases in value. Those are informative data points. I like to look at those as well. I like to pick up singles. I want to make sure I'm not buying the single when it's at its absolute most expensive that it will ever be. Like, that's just trying to be fiscally responsible. Now, of course, with everything nowadays, there's a toxic ass second subset group that exists within these pokey investing bros who treat Pokemon cards like legitimate capital investments. Again, that's their prerogative. I'm not going to say anything too negative about them, but that subset group who oftentimes thinks they're a little bit, holier than thou or a little bit, they don't think themselves as part of the hobby, which I think fucking sucks. They're literally using the people that enjoy this hobby, like us, for money. They're sucking us for money. And that's the subset of this group that I cannot stand. The people that want to use it as a way to, collect something valuable, make sure it increases in value over time, hell yeah, that's cool. Like, we all want that. So you have those folks, then you have the folks that are hoarding all their sealed product, then you have the scalpers. This all together may make it slightly more difficult to achieve finding product in the wild. But the problem is Pokemon's distribution right now is fucked. They can't print fast enough, which we know is bullshit. But I think there's a couple reasons why this is happening. One, they do it on purpose. Pokemon creates a scarcity on purpose. We all know this, and that's okay. Again, collectibles and scarcity kind of always go hand in hand, so I'm fine with that. Their distribution strategy to retailers and their acquisition strategies for customers, which is generally up to the discretion of retailers, is not working. Previously, pre-orders were a thing. You know, if a new set was coming out, you wanted to pre-order it. You want to make sure that you would get product. Now, you might not have gotten it the day the set came out, but it's sort of quote-unquote guaranteed you. Spoiler alert: no pre-order is ever a guarantee for anything, but it guaranteed you the opportunity to acquire a new set when it came out. The vast majority of retailers are now moving away from this strategy. We saw GameStop has gotten out of it completely. Now GameStop is selling booster boxes for market value. GameStop, shocking, is a scam. But they're an absolute crumbling business model, so I get what they're trying to do anything they can. But Target, for example, they're not getting enough product. A lot of Targets, the limits of quantities that folks can buy is up to the discretion of each Target location. So my main Target that I go to, which is, just a couple minutes away, they say, one DCU or SKU item of Pokemon or even trading cards in general per customer. Now, I've noticed when a big drop comes, like Prismatic, that sign will come up, and then when they don't have any of hot item product items, it'll go up to 5. Whatever the number is, the number needs to exist in these retail environments. You see the scumbags that camp out at the Pokemon vending machines. It's just fucking sick. Like, as long as these products are in high demand and they're hard to find and retailers are getting limited amount of quantity, you're gonna have people that are gonna come and wipe the fucking place clean. So retailers really need to lean into the idea of limiting the quantity of items that an individual can purchase. Now, some of you might not like that either because you like to buy a bunch and I'll rip it, and that's cool. I mean, I get that. But when the launch is new, we need to limit the amount that an individual can purchase, or else the 99.9% of us will never find anything at market value.
Another disservice that I think the Pokemon Company is doing to fans
is creating and releasing sets too frequently. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion because folks like new cards and new artwork and new product lines that they can always acquire. But just getting back into this hobby, there's 4 releases a year of new cards? I can't even get the cards that were released 3 months ago, and then you're 3 sets behind. So you're always feeling like you're chasing something. Again, I think this is a strategy that Pokemon wants. They never want someone to be burned out of a set. It's always going to happen, but they never want folks to be burned out of a set, so they keep blasting us with new product. Again, not a huge problem, and obviously I get why Pokemon does it, but Pokemon does a good job generally of kind of varying things and giving us different artwork and different sets and different themes and whatever that may be, but there's too many sets and they are released too frequently together, especially if you're someone that collects anything from the Japanese lines. They're the same things, but different. They're named different, but they're the same. They're packaged different, but they're sort of the same. So it's all this too much. And there's a lot of people out there that are completionists that get really caught up into this and are constantly chasing ways. And if you're trying to complete master sets in this environment of Pokemon, good fucking luck. I mean, you are more disciplined and willing to spend more money than I am, because I'm still trying to complete my 151 master set, and it's hard, man. It's hard, especially when you can't find product at MSRP. It's fucking hard, man. So I think that's the only master set I'm gonna do, because it's a fucking grind. So the shortened product life cycles with so many different product sets that are coming out at once, it's too much. So that, coupled with the fact that we still can't buy the fucking cards. So there's so many different product lines, but we can't find the shit anywhere. So it's too much, and we're not getting any of it. So it's all these things that exist in our head and things that we want, things we add to our lists. We can't find the fucking product anywhere, at least at MSRP. So if we're going to buy it, we're going to have to be spending double and helping feed the scalpers, going back and buying shit on fucking Whatnot, which again, don't ever do that. But again, if you can't find packs in the wild, that's what a lot of people are doing, then you're getting scammed. And we'll do a whole deep dive into that. But that's sort of the disgusting process map of what the Pokemon industry currently is today. And again, the root cause is the Pokemon company and how they're deciding to release sets, their distribution model, how they're partnering with big box retailers. It's all a fucking mess, and it all starts with the Pokemon company.
We haven't even touched on the absolute cluster of the Pokemon Center queuing pre-order process for Destin Rivals that just happened earlier this week.
I'm probably just done trying with that shit. Like, that was a fucking nightmare. And it doesn't work. I've got notifications on Twitter and Discord when stock comes in. I recommend everyone doing that because it's super easy. It costs nothing. It's minimally invasive. And it's really the only chance you're going to get MSRP product unless you want to grind through the stores. Here's a pack we're going to open today. Temporal Forces. Again, you're going to notice that I open these packs a little bit slower and differently than a lot of the folks that you'll see when you're taking a shit and watching on your phone. Our Basic Energy. Boom. I go backwards. Fuck you. Roaring Moon Hollow. Reverse Bolton. Prime Catcher. Little pinky guy. Bianca's Devotion. A Shiftery. Morty's Conviction. Finizen. OG Ghastly. Mudbray. Bronzor. Energy. I won't open packs like that in the future. I just want to get you guys. That's it. That's the state of the Pokemon game today. It sucks. Stay disciplined. Stay diligent. Don't get frustrated. Again, at the end of the day, we're collecting pieces of cardboard here for fun. If this ever stops being fun for anyone, take a break. Stop. Get out of it. Turn off the notifications on your phone. Refresh your phone algorithms, your YouTube algorithms, because this can perpetuate a lot of feelings of negativity right now. And I get it, man. I'm there. I can't imagine folks that have maybe stuck into this for 10, 20 years consistently. I'd feel betrayed by the Pokemon company. So keep up the good fight, guys. Again, don't fucking scalp. Don't buy shit on fucking whatnot. Don't scam people. Don't be a piece of shit. Don't hoard product. If you do, that's your prerogative. But try to be nice. If you see a little kid behind you at Target, don't clean out the fucking shelves of blister packs. Be a good human being. And we'll come back for the next one. Peace.